Bhagavad Geeta Chapter 3 The Yoga of Action Karma Yoga. Said Arjuna, O Janardana, if you are consider that intelligence is better than actions, then why are you asking me to perform these ghastly actions? If you consider that intelligence is better than action, then why are you asking me to perform these ghastly actions? My mind is confused with contradictory statements. Please tell me clearly the one path by following which I may gain the real benefit. Said the Lord Supreme, O sinless one, I declare two kinds of worship in the world before. One is the path of knowledge pursued by the Sankhyas, and the other, the path of action, meant for the men of action. One cannot achieve freedom from action by merely abstaining from action, nor one can attain samadhi simple by renouncing all actions. Surely none can remain inactive even for a moment. All those who are born here with the qualities of nature are forced to act helplessly according to their nature. Anyone who tries to control the five senses superficially, recollecting at the same time in his mind the sense object, is nothing but deluded soul and worshipper of falsehood. But O Arjuna, he is better who, regulating his senses by his mind unattached, begin karma yoga with his organ of actions. Therefore do your prescribed work, for doing some work is better than doing no work at all. Without work it is not possible to even maintain the physical body. Works in the world can cause bondage unless done with a sense of sacrifice. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your action for the sake of sacrifice only, free from attachment. In the beginning, at the time of creation, Brahma created people along with sacrifice and declared that by performing sacrifices they would become more prosperous, and also that sacrifice would be their will fulfilling Kamadhenu, the divine cow of Indra that give fulfill the wish and give boons. Therefore please the god through sacrifice, and they in turn will pleasure you by granting you boons. Thus, thus appeasing each other mutually, you will be able to achieve supreme welfare for all. The gods will reward you with the luxuries of life, pleased with your performance of sacrifice. But certainly is a thief who accepts such gift from God without offering them sacrifices. The saintly person get relief from all kind of sins by partaking the food that has been first offered to God as a sacrifice. But those who prepare food for their selfish end eat but only sins. All being come into existence from food. Food comes from rains. Rain originated from the performance of sacrifices, and sacrifices is born out of doing prescribed duties. Note that actions originated from Brahma, and Brahma originated directly from the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, the all-pervading Brahma is eternally situated in all act of sacrifice. O Partha, he who doesn't follow the wheel of sacrifice in this life, a sinful life, engaging himself unlessly in sense gratification, but he who takes delight in the self, satisfied with the self, and in inwardly happy and contented, for him there is no duty, neither in the performance of duty nor the non-performance of duty he has any interest, nor does he have any need to depend upon any one for anything. Therefore, always perform your duties without any interest. But performing his duties without attachment, a man certainly attained the supreme. It was through detached action only kings like Janaka and others were able to achieve spiritual perfections in their life. Therefore, the welfare of the world, you should also perform your duty. Whatever the best person does, that alone the common men follow, and whatever example he set, all the world adopts. O Partha, there is nothing in 3 words that I have to do. There is nothing here that I want or yet to gain. Still I am doing my work. If I do not engage myself in performing action with great care, O Partha, certainly people would follow me in all respect and would do not do any work. The world would perish if I do not perform my actions. I would become responsible for the creation of the great confusion of castes and thereby destruction of all people. Just as the ignorant ones perform their action with attachment, O Bharata, the wise must perform their action without attachment in the interest of the general welfare of the world. The wise man shouldn't cause mental conflict among the ignorant who perform their actions with attachment. He should rather encourage them to do their work by performing action himself dispassionately without any attachment. All type of action are actually performed by the gunas, triple qualities of the nature. But the egoistic, deluded soul believe, I am the doer. But, O mighty armed, the man of knowledge, knowing well the truth about the division of the gunas and actions, realizing that the sense impelled by the gunas moves amidst the gunas of the sense object is never attached to actions. Deluded by the gunas, the ignorant indulge in the actions that are driven by the gunas, but the wise who knows the truth shouldn't disturb them who are lazy to know and whose knowledge is incomplete. Surrendering all your actions to me, with your minds centered in your inner self, free from expectations and attachment, without any feeling of the ownerships, free from mental agitations, you should fight. Those men who follow my doctrines regularly with utmost faith and without envy are liberated from the bondage of actions. But those who out of envy do not follow my preaching know them as a completely ignorant of all knowledge. They are completely unconscious and ruined. Even a very knowledgeable person acts according to his own nature. All living beings follow their respective nature in performing actions. What then can restraint do in such circumstances? Attachment to and aversion from the sense objects are located in the senses. No one should come under their influences for they are certainly a stumbling block on the path. Better is one's own duty, though devoid the qualities, than another's duty, however perfectly situated. To die while performing one's duty is better. To follow another duty in inviting a great fear of bondage. Said Arjuna, by what, O Krishna, a man commits sins even unintentionally, as if he is under some compelling force. Lord Supreme said, know that it is desire only, O Arjuna, arising from the qualities of rajas, that becomes eventually anger, the all-devouring, deeply sinful and most intense of all the enemies in the world. As fire is enveloped by smoke, mirror by dust, as embryo is surrendered from all sides by the worms, so does all this is covered by lust. All, all consciousness is enveloped by the eternal enemy of the wise, the inexhaustible fire in the form of lust. O son of Kunti, the sense, the mind, and the intelligence are said to be its established seats of actions. With the help of these, it covers all the knowledge of embodied and deludes him. Therefore, O best of Bharatas, control the senses from the very beginning and say this great personification of sin, destroyer of knowledge and intelligence. The senses are said to be superior. Superior to the senses is the mind. Superior to the mind is intelligence, and superior to the intelligence is he, the self. Thus, knowing him who is beyond intelligence and establishing the self is the self, O mighty armed, conquer this formidable enemy who is in the form of lust. Thus end the third chapter named Yoga of Action Upanishada of the divine Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of absolute, the yogic scripture, and the debate between Arjuna